Being a professor comes with a certain level of responsibility because it's a really privileged position, right? I'm a first-generation college student. I don't come from, sort of a family where my grandparents and great-grandparents and great-grandparents went to college. Being a professor of color, being a Chicana professor, for me means that I have a real responsibility to the community that I come from. I have a responsibility to use the opportunities that I've been given, the education that I've been able to access, to try and bring about a broader good in society. So Genevieve Negrón-Gonzales, I'm an assistant professor in the Department of Leadership Studies here in the School of Education. So I teach, my primary affiliation is in the HESA program, which is Higher Education and Student Affairs. So the majority of the courses that I teach are in the HESA program, but I also teach in the broader ONL program and in the general ed program here in the School of Education. My background is actually in social and cultural studies and education. That's what my degree is in. I have lived in the Bay Area since 1996, which is when I graduated from high school. So I graduated from high school. I came up to UC Berkeley as an undergraduate student, spent 4 years there, did community work for a few years, worked at a nonprofit in Oakland for the intervening years, and then came back to graduate school also at UC Berkeley. So the way that I ended up at USF was that I really wanted to be, I was at a very research-intensive university, which was UC Berkeley, and I was also at a really teaching-intensive university at San Jose State. And there were a lot of both of those experiences that I really loved. And I knew that I wanted to be at a place where both research and teaching were really valued. I grew up in a family with really clear sets of ideas around justice and fairness. I want to help contribute to a more just conversation about immigration reform in this country. I want to be a part of the work that's happening on the ground to bring about more humane and just policies for immigrants and immigrant families. I also am involved in work here on campus that's about trying to make USF a more just place as well. So I'm the chair of the task force on services and support for undocumented students here at USF, working with a group of faculty, staff, and students across the campus to think about how USF can be a more welcoming place for undocumented students. So for me, making a difference is really about using whatever foothold we have, wherever we're located, to be able to sort of push that door a little bit more widely open. And that's what I try and do. I love teaching. I love walking into the classroom. I love seeing the kind of transformation that happens when students come into a classroom unsure about their abilities or unsure about their ideas, and seeing the kind of transformation that happens over the course of a semester. I love that. I love teaching, and I love working with students. I want to prepare my students to be change makers in higher education, because we know that it's an institution that is fraught with questions of equity and access. I want my students to be a part of changing those kinds of policies and practices.